This is just a brief update on our situation because in the last few days there has been a very insidious development, and frankly there is no point sitting around waiting for the courts to deal with it, for the guards to deal with it, for the child protection services to deal with it, because our experience so far is that we simply cannot rely on them to do what's needed. So just to give you a quick update, on January the 6th this year, 4 men arrived at the door of our house at a time when myself and my wife were away for a couple of hours. 2 of my children were in the house, aged 12 and 14, 2 girls, and for about 45 minutes these 4 men harassed and intimidated our girls, demanding entry of the house, threatening to find another way in if they weren't allowed in. They were fully aware that the parents were not here. We would later discover that the 2 civilians were here trying to serve let's say court documents, but it was completely unnecessary because they could have been served by registered post, and that the 2 Gardaí in attendance were apparently, according to the Garda Ombudsman, acting as backup to 2 people acting in a civil case. Anyway, the long and the short of it is that we approached the local chief superintendent for a meeting to find out what was going on. Despite all our efforts, he has repeatedly refused to meet with us. Meanwhile, the Child Protection Services received a referral from Garda stating that we had left our children alone for 3 days unsupervised. It's utter nonsense, of course, and can be easily proven as utter nonsense. What the Garda did not know when they made this vexatious referral was that everything that was happening on the house on January the 6th was being recorded. As soon as I informed the Child Protection Services that we had a recording of what happened on January the 6th and we could definitively prove that the Gardaí had made a vexatious and malicious and illegal referral for the purposes obviously of causing us distress and harassment. At that point, the local Child Protection Agency said there was no longer any need for an investigation. We countered saying absolutely there's a need for an investigation because we wanted in writing what's happened here and we want to pursue this. But again, despite all our efforts, nothing has been done in that area. As a matter of fact, matters took another turn for the worst just less than a week ago when my wife was bringing our 10-year-old Down syndrome boy to school. She was summoned to the principal's office. Now bear in mind folks, this is my wife. She's a woman in her 50s and was called to the principal's office and was there interviewed, interrogated, put whichever way you like. Apparently on the instructions of the local Child and Family Agency, she was interviewed about whether or not there was any domestic violence going on at home. Now apparently this insinuation, this allegation of domestic violence is based exclusively on some comment that my son Danny is supposedly supposed to have said at school. Now it's a ludicrous and preposterous situation because Danny can't put a coherent sentence together. We pointed this out to them numerous times. We've tried to engage with them on this matter. But eventually we told them we have no confidence in what they're doing here because they still haven't dealt with the incident of January the 6th, and all of a sudden they're now trying to interview my wife without my knowledge, and explicitly without my knowledge, in this matter. So I challenged them and I asked them what on earth they think they were doing. The next thing I knew, while they sent a letter to me offering me an appointment, which only arrived here on Monday, on Tuesday morning, before I had time to respond to that letter, we received notification in the post that we are due in court next Thursday, April the 24th, and the Child and Family Agency are applying for supervision orders. Now, as far as we understand it, this is the first stage in a process whereby they intend to break up our family, and on the basis of absolutely ludicrous and preposterous and unfounded allegations without a single iota of evidence. They are not going to break up this family. We are a kind and loving family. Everybody that knows us, and I hope those of you that do know us, will write in and send us emails in support because we want to be ready for this next Thursday. The practices, the procedures are at best flawed and at worst criminal and insidious. There is no basis whatsoever for any of these allegations, yet they are still going ahead and applying to the court to try and break up this family. It's not going to happen.